All right, I'm talking to Art, who just escaped from Russia on Sunday, and this is March 23rd, 2022. When you first tried to get out of Russia, what happened? What was the date on the first airplane flight you booked?
I believe it was March 13th or
And
something
what
like that.
what airport were you going to fly out of?
So I went to Makhachkala, which is Dagestan. That's where Habib is from. It's way south of Russia, next to Chechnya.
And
Very
how'd you
nice
get
place.
down? How'd you get down there?
I took a Russian airline. They still flew from St. Petersburg. I went down there.
And then when you got to the airport to take your flight out of Russia,
So when I got out of the airport to take a flight, it was at 3 in the morning, and I got there, and it was closed. Like the lights were off, and there was nobody there. And the guard told me that the airline that was supposed to take me out of Russia, which is Turkish airline, was not working for at least a week already. So sometimes the online brokers that don't even know that the airplanes stop working out of Russia.
so from there, what did you do to try to get out?
So I went to the neighboring country, Georgia, and
How'd you get to Georgia from there?
I took a bus.
How long did that take?
6 hours at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you delayed at the border?
So at the border, I stayed for a week. Mainly because of the snowstorms in March, Russia, right?
Avalanche?
Yeah, avalanche. That's exactly what it was. Avalanche.
It covered the roads then.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so from now you're at the border, on the Georgian border, and you're trying to get out of Russia. What happened?
So I mean, this is not about a war, but our driver didn't have right papers to get across because they don't let Russians out. Russia doesn't let Russians out at the Georgian border.
So at this point in time, no Russians can leave Russia.
Unless they have So at that specific border, they have to have a reason to leave. So like an alternative citizenship, like I did. I have an American citizenship, so that let me out.
So without the USA passport, would you have been stuck in Russia?
I have it at that particular border, yes, but not like everywhere.
Okay. So you're at the border and you're trying to get across. What happened?
So I would wait in line for like 16 hours and we get to the border, and our driver didn't have papers. So we have to switch. We have to find another bus at the border, pay them, negotiate a deal, and get on that bus and get across the border. KGB quizzed me for like an hour, saying why do I have an American passport? But
So were you accused of being an American spy?
a bit. But honestly, they were nice guys. They just talked to me for like an hour. It was quite pleasant, actually.
Okay. So the KGB is not all like Putin.
I mean, maybe they're just I don't know. Not
Okay,
all of them.
forget that. Now you're at the border. And how many people were at the border waiting to cross?
Oh my God! I mean, people were standing for 3-4 days in line to get across the border.
And what nationalities were trying to leave Russia?
Mostly Belarus. Belarus guys were traveling through Russia, through Georgia, to get out of Belarus. But a lot of Ukrainians were also leaving like Crimea and going through Russia to get to Georgia.
Oh yeah. So you get to the border, and are you able to get across?
I was able to, yeah. It took me a few hours to get because it's a very dangerous border. It's like the Nazis actually built it, and they built the road. So it's a really tiny road, and it was like semi trucks going back and forth. I woke up on the bus because there was a semi truck with a bunch of oil. It was like this close to the window I was sleeping next to. So
All right. So you're across the border now. How do you get a flight back to the U.S.?
honestly, when I got to Tbilisi, it was
Capital of.
Georgia.
Okay.
It's a very European state. Like you have Ukrainian flags everywhere. It's a normal place. Everybody's okay now.
What do the Georgians think of Russia?
They were not welcome. I mean, they were really welcoming people. One of the most welcoming on earth, in my opinion. But I saw graffiti saying Russians go home to your ugly country. So
And what languages are spoken in the Georgian Republic?
mostly Georgian. And then older people speak Russian, and then younger people speak English.
Are they now teaching English instead of Russian in their schools?
They stopped teaching Russian and they're teaching English. So Georgia's a great place. If you like wine, you should go check it out.
And we're talking about Georgia south of Russia, not Georgia southern USA.
Right.
Okay, so if you get yourself a plane, where'd you go to then?
So and then I went to Qatar, and then from Qatar I got to Boston. It was pretty quick. I mean, 16-hour flight at that time, it didn't matter. I've been traveling for a week.
All right. So back to Georgia. their attitude about the Ukrainian war?
Oh, I mean, they were like, Ukrainian flags everywhere in the streets, everywhere.
And so they're, at this point, anti-Russian, pro-Ukrainian.
Oh yeah, I mean, Georgia, there was a Russian-Georgia war, so obviously they did know what was going on. They know how it is.
All right. Anything else you want to say about your trip? And you arrive back on the 21st, March 22.
Love your woman and fight for your country.
All right. Take care.